Hey good people, how y'all doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you all my review on the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7, Episode 12. Without further ado, let's go. I'm glad that Candiace has finally really learned to not take the bait from these women and react right away to all the BS that is thrown her way. Could it be because she and Gizelle have been friends over these last however many years that she knows how Gizelle operates and she now anticipates the mess that she knows Gizelle is going to throw her way? Or are we really seeing a big shift in Candiace just choosing to not react to the messiness that is this show? You guys let me know what you think. For me personally, I just believe that Candiace is over everything and she's not going to allow these women to get a reaction out of her. When the episode opens up, Karen and Ray are doing a walkthrough for her Grand Dame and Friends event. She says that this will be the first time that they have someone who is not a comic perform a show. So I'm like, okay, Karen, that's what's up. Of course, Matt is there, you know, her assistant, apparently now her producer. He's there and he's kind of giving her the rundown of what the show is going to be about. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, hold up, Karen, do you know what's going on with your own show? Like, why is he telling you everything and you're kind of asking him questions? So in her confessional, the producer asked her if the show was her idea or if it was Matt's idea. For me personally, I see that it looks like it's Matt's production. It looks like this is his show. So yeah, I don't know. Now we're over at Gordon and Mia's house and they're reading bednight stories to their children. I think that, like I said in my last review, Gordon is really a good dad to those children. And it's really nice to see that because, you know, he is a man of a particular age. And usually once you hit a certain number, you don't really want to be bothered with little kids anymore. But for him, it's a whole different situation. So I can appreciate how hands-on he is with his kids, unlike some other fathers or father that we see on the show. So after they put the children to sleep, Jacqueline stops by and Gordon looks super happy to see her, of course. They all sit down in the living room and I thought that this particular encounter was so weird. Jacqueline is sitting in between Mia and Gordon's like, do you really want Jacqueline to sit in between us? He says something like that. And Mia's like, well, no, do you want to switch seats? So they're going back and forth with the whole switching of the seats. And I'm like, what is going on here? Who cares? Like, why is this such a big deal? Mia says in her confessional that Jacqueline's mom and her stepmom went to school together. So she and Mia are going to be friends forever. And okay, so what? Who cares? While they're sitting down, Mia asks Jacqueline how she felt about Gizelle questioning their relationship the other night. Of course, Jacqueline said that she was really uncomfortable by the questions. I would be too, to be honest, regardless if I was having a relationship with Mia or not. It was very invasive in my opinion. But at the same time, Mia kind of opened up the door for Gizelle to ask those type of questions when she was telling her about how they shared Mia's ex-boyfriend. So I kind of get it, but then again, still, it was messy, but you know, that's just Gizelle for you. Jacqueline's like, well, you know, well, we take showers together and stuff like that. And Gordon is like, well, I would like to take more showers with you, Mia. So let me get this straight. Mia is completely fine with taking showers with Jacqueline, but she and Gordon don't take showers together. Okay, that is very weird. And my belief is that these two have, and I'm talking about Mia and Jacqueline, they do have something going on or they've had something going on in the past. It's just obvious. Okay, these two, it just makes sense, right? But the fact that your husband doesn't take showers with you, girl, what's going on? As they're talking, Jacqueline does bring up the car situation and she admits to a certain degree that Gordon did help her out buying this car. She's like, you guys know that I was having a hard time with my ex and whatever. Okay, you was having a hard time with your ex. So that means that he needed to buy you a luxury car. That just didn't make any sense to me. But they're doing whatever they're doing. It's neither here nor there for me at this point. It's just not. I don't really care. So now we are out with Ashley and her pretty young things. That's what she calls these group of women that she's with. These are some of her close friends. They're at a restaurant and of course, messy Gizelle joins them. Why is this woman here? If for no other reason but to be messy. Of course, we know that that is her MO. She's here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to get more information on Chris. So to try to stir up some small talk, Gizelle's asking the ladies if they have tried to hook Ashley up with with anybody. They're pretty much like, no, she's good, whatever. Let's get down to the real reason why you're here, Gizelle. And she does exactly that. She brings up this whole Chris situation and she wants to know what happened at Karen's spring fling. According to Gizelle, she just needs a little clarity. Deborah, who is Ashley's friend, says that she was at the bar and Chris kind of motioned or leaned in and introduced himself to her. She says to him, oh, well, my husband's name is Chris too. And apparently, according to her, he says that there's a lot of us and we're all the same, or something to that effect. Okay, so what did he say that was inappropriate to you? And how did you feel like this man was trying to come on to you? Now, the one thing about the Bravo production team that we all know, if someone is lying, they're going to be quick to pull out those receipts. And sure enough, they roll the footage back, which shows that Deborah was actually to, number one, compliment Chris's attire. He was wearing a two-piece pink suit, so she was like, oh, that's a nice color. And she introduced herself to him, not the other way around. So one could say, girl, were you flirting with him talking about his suit? The clip also shows that she does tell Chris that her husband's name is Chris too. And I just want to pause right quick. If this woman is married, how is she in this little group of friends with Ashley that Ashley says are all kind of going through similar situations? Because I was looking at her ring finger and girlfriend definitely has her ring on. Now, that's not to say that she hasn't had any type of situations in the past with her husband, but I'm trying to figure out and get some clarity, using Gizelle's word, on how this woman is a part of this group. But anywho, I'm going to digress on that right now. The footage shows that after she tells Chris that her husband's name is Chris as well, Chris says, well, you know, there's a lot of us out there. That's pretty much to the extent of what he said. He completely, in the scene that I saw, seems uninterested in this woman. So where she got that he's coming on to her, I don't see it. If you guys saw it, let me know. Gizelle is even at this point sitting at the table like, what? This is the information that you have to tell me? Girl, this don't even make any sense. Gizelle asks Deborah, have you ever met him before? Deborah's like, no. Then Deborah brings up Eddie, Wendy's husband. And she says, happy Eddie came over and introduced himself to her. And she said that he was being very flirty. Again, the producers roll the footage back and Eddie is sitting at the bar laughing with Chris, not paying this woman any attention. I don't even see her in the frame. So at this point, Deborah to me is a pathological liar. Now, from a married woman's perspective, number one, there have probably been very few times that I have gone to a party without my husband. Secondly, as a married woman, I would definitely not be complimenting another man who I do not know about what he has on. I just wouldn't do it. So again, to me, Deborah is just somebody that they brought on the show strictly to stir up some mess between Candiace and the rest of these women. Deborah goes on to say to Gizelle if she knew that Eddie was married. So Deborah is trying to say something like, well, if I knew he was married, she's talking about Eddie. I'm saying to myself, clearly you knew this man was married because you mentioned that he is Wendy's husband. So I'm curious as to when you found out who he was. This to me is clownery at its finest. Gizelle, if you thought that this was going to validate what you have been saying about Chris, this fell completely flat. And furthermore, it again hurts your credibility when it comes to telling the truth. Shame on you, Gizelle. And Ashley, also, shame on you. Ashley has the nerve to say in her confessional that she has known Deborah for like a year and a half. And I guess she tries to say, well, I've known her for a year and a half. Like, I don't know her that well type of thing. So that when they do roll these receipts back for the reunion, she can say, well, I didn't know her that long. But she goes on to say, the other women that were there at the bar with Deborah, I've known for a very long time and they're not liars. Okay, Ashley, so you tell me what this looks like to you. These women are lying. Back at the table, Ashley says that she tried to tell Candiace about everything, and Deborah asked her if Candiace was okay with what Ashley was saying. Like, how did she take it? Ashley and Gizelle are like, not well. Of course, because she knows that you two are liars. Ashley is now wondering, should she be telling Wendy about Deborah's encounter with Eddie? And I'm sitting here like, well, didn't you know this before? So you mean to tell me that Deborah only told you about Chris and forgot to tell you about Eddie? That doesn't make any sense, Ashley. Deborah then tries to clean it up, saying that Eddie was more subdued than Chris. Oh, really? How convenient. Ashley in her confessional keeps bringing up how she would want to know this information if she were Wendy. And she brings up what Michael has done to her in the past. And I'm looking at her like, well, if this is what you feel, why are you entertaining this foolery? Having been in that situation for real before, why would you want to be a part of such nasty falsehoods? Again, shame on you, Ashley. In the next scene, we are at Wendy's home with her family, and I love to see Wendy with her kids. I think her kids are so cute. So Wendy says in her confessional that she's losing her mind being home with the family. She's just not used to sitting around doing nothing. Wendy and Eddie sit down and talk, and Wendy tells him that she and Ashley had a conversation. So they show the flashback of Wendy and Ashley having lunch, and apparently Ashley told Wendy about Deborah's perception, because in my opinion, it's not the truth. It's her perception about Eddie supposedly flirting with her. Wendy is giving Eddie the play-by-play of their conversation, and when they showed the flashback to Wendy and Ashley talking, I was really surprised at how calm Wendy appeared when Ashley was telling her this information. It was almost as if Wendy wasn't even interested in hearing about it. Like, girl, bye. When Wendy asked Ashley what the issue was, Ashley said, well, I guess it was that he was smiling. So Eddie says, well, O-S-H-I-T. I guess I can't smile no more. I find Eddie to be hilarious. Wendy in her confessional says nobody is concerned by Eddie having a friendly conversation because Eddie is very happy. I mean, look at me. Yes, Wendy, that's how you appear to be unbothered, honey. In the next scene, Mia, Gizelle, and Robin meet. For me, I don't understand why Mia would want to meet with Gizelle and Robin after they ambushed Jacqueline the other day, but okay. Mia said that her son was really sick, and I found it funny that neither Gizelle nor Robin asked how he was doing. Gizelle, of course, tells Mia right away about the conversation that she had with Karen when Mia shared that she was examining Jackie's area. So Mia tells her story, and it's funny how her story changes. She says that Jackie asked her to look down there to see what was going on. That's not what you told Karen. You was telling Karen that you was thinking about being an OBGYN or something, so you were practicing on Jacqueline. Really, girl? Gizelle also asked Mia why didn't she tell her about Mia, Gordon, and Peter's ex. Mia says because it did not come up. She told them that this woman only played with Gordon at first, meaning foreplay. At first she said it happened on their wedding night, but then she corrected herself and said that it happened at his bachelor's party that Mia crashed. So I'm like, not Mia crashing Gordon's bachelor party. Robin said, well, why was she even there? And according to Mia, not only was Peter's ex a bridesmaid at the wedding, she also sang as Mia walked down the aisle. This story can't get any more crazier. To me, it's like the lie on top of a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie. So to sum it all up, Peter's ex was the entertainment at Gordon's bachelor's party, bridesmaid of Mia, and wedding singer at their wedding. The stories that Mia comes up with, you have to give it to her. I mean, she can put together a lie real quick. Robin asks, why would you share this information with Karen? And Mia's like, well, you know what? I don't know, but I ain't telling her nothing else. She says, I tell you one thing, it wouldn't be nice if she told Gizelle and Robin why Karen doesn't want to be bothered with Charisse. And of course, Gizelle's like, tell me. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, you're not going to do that right now. Trust and believe, Mia's going to get back at Karen. It's the day of Karen's Grand Dame event. Gizelle gets mistaken for Karen when she comes in. I thought that was funny. She says in her confessional, Gizelle, that she still does not know what this event is about, but she is there to support Karen. Truth be told, Karen doesn't either. So Ashley brings Deborah as her +1, and I'm not surprised. And neither is Gizelle. She says she's not mad that Ashley brought her, talking about this is going to be good. Gizelle, girl, like, haven't you had enough of Candiace? Why are you still trying to come for this lady? They show Candiace at home with her mother, and I just find Miss Dorothy to just be so cute and funny. I'm glad that Candiace and her mom are at a place where they're tolerating each other a lot more. It's really cute to see that. Back at Karen's event, she's in her dressing room, making sure that she lets these people know I need my mic to work. The ladies are at the table talking about a cleavage slip up between Karen and Mia, and I'm so uninterested about this. I'm just going to move on. Candiace and her mom arrive, and to my surprise, both her mom and Candiace give hugs to Mia and Jacqueline. I thought that was really classy of Candiace. You know she's paying Gizelle dust, but she did embrace Mia and Jacqueline. They quickly pan over to Deborah, and she's over there looking so uncomfortable, and I would be too. Why would you even show up? So Gizelle, not having anything else of substance to talk about, starts talking about Charisse being upset that she was not invited. This is something that I'm once again uninterested in hearing about. Ashley says that Karen had a conversation with her the other day where she found out that Mia was exploring Jacqueline's southern region. Here we go again with this story. Now I know Gizelle already told Ashley that she told Mia about what Karen said. So why does Ashley feel the need to bring this up again? I don't know. Jacqueline says, oh, like when I had a yeast infection, and I was like, what in the yuck? What did you just say? You had a yeast infection and that's why Mia was checking you out? That is disgusting. Mia is looking at Jacqueline like, girl, I didn't tell them all that. So now Jacqueline's over there sitting looking like a fool. Mia says to the group, listen, I don't go back and tell Karen what she tells me about things. So I'm not understanding why she's doing this. At this point, Robin has arrived. G is there to support his girl Karen. You know he loves her. Robin, seeing that Deborah is there, asks Candiace if she knows that this is the girl who has been spreading those rumors about Chris. Candiace is like, really, this chick? And Robin says to her, I'm with you on that. They're talking about Deborah's appearance. Like, girl, ain't no way he was checking out this girl. Candiace says in her confessional that she does not acknowledge Sesame Street characters. They are make-believe characters that belong at Sesame Street. Candiace, oh my God. Candiace is hilarious. How she comes up with this stuff, I don't know, but I love it. Karen has a packed house. Kudos to Karen. Gizelle and Robin are over there checking the time like it's 8 o'clock. The show was supposed to start at 7:30. Hating on Karen, of course. Wendy and Eddie arrive just as the show starts. The first act of the show is a comedian, and then Karen comes out for the second act, which is called the Grand Dame. You know, the producers have to be shady, so they show a little clip on the bottom that says that Karen was only on the stage by herself for 52 seconds. By Act 3, the ladies figure out that this is just a variety show and Karen's place in the show is just the hostess. So during this variety show that Karen has put together, or Matt has put together rather, Karen had the nerve to come out with a whole outfit change. Now you have to give it to Karen. She never told these women exactly what her role was in this whole situation. They can't really be upset that she's just the host. I mean, she didn't say she was coming out with a podcast or anything like that, okay? By the way, I hope that when I'm 59, I look as good as Karen does. Do y'all see those abs popping through that jumpsuit? Okay, she looks great. Act 4 is called Sizzle Topics. They bring back out the comedian and the drag queen. This is an opportunity for the audience to ask them questions. So 2 or 3 people from the audience ask questions, and then Mia gets the mic to ask a question. Mia's question is, what do you do when you share something with a friend and she runs her mouth to other people and tells it? Karen says, whatever I said about you, Mia, is the truth. So just get over it. Mia says transparency is key. Karen's like, well, can we work it out? Can we work on it? Karen is trying to be funny, but you can tell that she's caught off guard and really doesn't want to go there at this event with Mia. Mia says, if I tell you something, don't run and tell these two, pointing at Gizelle and Robin. Here goes Gizelle, because I'm going to tell it. You know I'm going to tell it. Yeah, we know Gizelle. Karen is still trying to come across as being playful. She says, well, I will work on it. I'm not perfect. Thank you, Mia. Love you. Like, let's move on before you try to embarrass me in front of all these people. Mia says in her confessional, why do people get upset when they get called out? You did it. You can't even get mad. Karen in her confessional says Mia needs to sit her butt down and go on ahead and complete your Build-A-Puss project. Oh my God. Not a Build-A-Puss project. Karen Huger. Girl, you are crazy. Side note, I found it so funny how Mia is comfortable sitting at the table with Wendy again. Literally, it's Mia, Candiace, and Wendy. Getting back to the show, Karen thanks everybody for coming out. Gizelle says in her confessional that Karen has a big ego. Gizelle, stop hating. Back at the table, Ashley says she forgot to introduce Candiace and Deborah. No, you didn't. Once again, being messy because Candiace at this point knows who this woman is and is paying her dust. Deborah says to Candiace, oh, we met at the spring party. Candiace says, oh, this is the friend that Chris was grabbing on. This is the one? Deborah says he wasn't grabbing, he was flirting heavy. I'm like, girl, you're not even using complete sentences at this point. Hush. So Candiace asks her, well, what was he saying? Deborah says he introduced himself. And I'm like, Deborah, it's not he introduced himself, it's he introduced himself. Please speak proper English. So less than smart Deborah tells the same lie that she told Ashley and Gizelle the other night. Wendy at this point puts her head down like, no, what a clown. She's shaking her head. So Mia says to Candiace, oh, that's the one? Candiace is like, yep, this is the one. It was a plan. So Candiace, of course, is not buying into this nonsense. Deborah says, I'm not the only one he was giving googly eyes to. First you go from Chris flirting with you to now he was giving googly eyes to other people. So you were just watching him the whole night? Okay. Mia in her confessional puts Candy and Wendy at an 8 on the cute scale. And then she puts Deborah on, girl, you're not on their level of cuteness. For me personally, I don't like judging people's looks, but I understand exactly what Mia means, as well as what Robin was saying at the table to Candiace earlier. Like, I find it hard to believe that Chris would flirt with this woman. Back to the Grand Dame show, we are at Act 5, and they bring out Jasmine Masters, who starts to sing. The ladies are all dancing, and pretty much the show is over. The ladies are getting up, and Ashley says to Candiace, I know you have some weird feeling about my friend. Candiace is like, girl, no, I don't have time for this. Don't start your mess. Well, Ashley, not having gotten the response that she wanted out of Candiace, says, why are you trying to dismiss my friend? That's the same thing that you did to Jackie. Could you just clear the air? She does not have any bad intentions toward you. Candiace says, no, we're leaving. What else do you want from Candiace? She heard what was said and is now going home. Like, she does not care. In her confessional, Candiace asks, why is Ashley insisting that I talk to Sesame Street? Because Ashley is a messy. Why would you bring this lady where I'm going to be? She needs to go count some numbers and go read a book to a child. Not count numbers and read a book to a child, Candiace. I'm telling y'all, Candiace is unmatched in her reads. Here goes Deborah saying to Candiace, do you want to chat with me one-on-one? Candiace is like, no, ma'am. And I just feel like, girls, let it be. Candiace is not bothered. She does not care. Y'all tried and y'all failed. They show the preview for next week's episode, and I'm really excited to watch this episode because we have Karen and Sharice getting into it. And apparently, Mia and Jacqueline are having a little tiff with one another. Guys, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I thought it was ridiculous, to be honest with you. The fact that Ashley just won't let it be. Like, it's just confirming what we already know, how messy these women are. And really, like, they'll just go as far as they can go just to be messy. And I don't think it's cute. I really don't. But y'all let me know what y'all thought, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.